Hey guys, today I'm going to do a book talk on Winter by Marissa Meyer. So Winter is the final book in the Lunar Chronicles series. It is it's like the finale book, and it was a really good ending. I thought it was a really good book and everything. So if you don't know, the Lunar Chronicles is a series that takes like fairy tale retellings and mixes them with like cyborg, sci-fi, futuristic things. The books are really good. There's 3 other ones: Cinder, which is the first one; Scarlet, the second one; Cress, the third one. I have a book talked on all of those, so if you want to see those, click the eye up here. Anyways, Winter is a Snow White retelling. You could probably tell from the apple. And I thought it was very good. The whole series is really good. So, you should really read it if you haven't. And if you have not read it, go read it, and then we can talk about it. Because I'm going to go into a spoiler section. I don't want to spoil you if I haven't read it. So anyone who hasn't read it, go now. Right. So with Winter, it starts out and it shows it's like Winter is at one of the basically executions, and you can tell like she always hates those, and so her stepmom Lavanna makes her come because she has to go to it. And then Jason's execution, like Jason's trial, was there, and so she kind of was like surprised that he was there, and was like basically. And he was freaking out kind of because she has her hallucinations, and so she was turning into a girl made of ice, and then she had made a comment that was kind of crazy sounding, and then everyone in the court had laughed at her. So that's kind of basically, but she's one of the most beautiful. She's the most beautiful person in all of Luna, and she doesn't use her glamour. So she's kind of crazy, and her stepmother had made her give herself scars on her face since she was so beautiful, and she would have tried to dismiss her beauty, but everyone said it made her more beautiful. And so Jason is kind of like, has been a friend since she was younger, and so she wanted to help him. And eventually he got assigned to be her personal guard, and so he had followed her around and everything, and was helping her through her hallucinations and all that stuff. And so in this one, Scarlet is still captured. Like, Scarlet is in the cage with her, and so she would go and see her, and she would bring her favorite little apple candy things. And then she would always have to, she would always go and see her, and Scarlet was playing with the wolf friend. And then Jason, to prove his loyalty to them again, prove the loyalty to Lavanna, had to kill Winter. Which, I mean, obviously it wasn't because he loves her. So he faked her death and had Scarlet and Winter, like, run away from the palace, so they were both safe. And then back on the Rampion, they had to return Kai back so the plans could go back to how they're going to, so they could invade Luna, like they were wanting to. And so when they were bringing back Cinder kiss Kai goodbye. And then Thorn's like, don't I get a goodbye kiss too? And Wolf had like just punched Kai in the face. And so Cinder's like, Wolf's not the only person that can get a right hook. That part was really funny. That was one of the few funny parts that were in this book. I really liked that part. It was really funny. And then he got back to Earth. He had called Lavanna and like gave her the idea that they should host the wedding on Luna. So now the plans were all unfolding like they should. And then they get to Luna by sneaking onto Kai's spaceship, and then Lavanna's like, alright, now search, like, they land on Luna and you meet them and everything. Like, okay, search the ship. And so Kai's like, what? Why are you doing that? He's like, I'm going to let you just come on? Because, yeah, but anyways. And so they search it, and then Thorn's like, okay, I'll risk myself. I'll run away from you guys so you can sneak out. So he runs away, and they all run out. And then Cress goes into the security room to do her hacking. And then Thorn gives out them, so they get to leave, but Cress stays behind. And then Winter thought she saw someone go over there, so she went over to where Cress was and was pretending she was super crazy, and was like saying, "Oh, this paper's so beautiful. I need some of this paper." And then she helped Cress get into a box to hide, so she was safe then. And then, so Cress thankfully was safe, but they still hadn't had her. So Cinder, Thorn, Wolf, and Ikio ran off to the mining sector where Wolf's mom lived, or Wolf's family lived, to go try to have her help them. So they came in and they had housed her, and her video, Chris played her video of her rebellion video, and it caused, everyone was kind of scared to do anything, and then one person did something to the guards, and then a bunch of people had started doing it, and so they had managed to stop the guards. And in that sector, everyone was on board, and they started planning their strategies. And then, some more of the Queen's people came, and they, while they were in the planning office, more of the Queen's people came, and they were like, "Tell us where she is, or we're going to kill all of you." And no one spoke up, and then someone's like, "She's with," told them that Wolf's mom was housing her, and so they made her come up to the front, and she said she was telling them about that she was going to stand with her, and that she wasn't going to say where she was. And then anyways, and so they had break each of her fingers. And then during the battle, because Winter and Scarlet had made it to the mining sector where they were at, and so she was there too. But during the battle, they had killed her, Wolf's mom, and then Wolf and Cinder got captured. And so Ikio ran with Winter to save her, and then Scarlet and Thorn went somewhere. But anyways, she was taken to the palace and put in a cell with her stepmom, Adri, and her stepsister, Pearl, who were both freaking out and was silent and everything. She was trying to get out, but then during the reception, because during the wedding, Kai, he reluctantly did it. And then it said, part was and he grabbed his sisters, and and it said he plunged her at his heart, and I was really excited. I was like, she was dead. And then it said that her arm was bleeding, so he had stabbed her in the arm. So I was like, oh, I really wanted that she was dead. I really wanted her to be dead. So I'm really glad she did at the end die. And then Cinder, during the reception thing, came in because it was her trial, and her cybernetics were seeing what Lavanna really looked like, and she was scarred, like Cinder was, she had been burned too. And then so Cinder jumped off the edge. I was just saying that she was actually the princess, and recording that video. She jumped off the edge into the water, and then she was trying to swim, but then her cyborg foot was pulling her down, and then she had kind of fainted, sort of. And then that's when Thorn and Jason had come and brought her back to a mansion that they had broken into, and they were trying to fix her because she couldn't use her leg or her hand anymore, her cyborg leg or hand. And so Thorn was just can we just use a bag of rice? And they're like, what? It's you are not pouring a bag of rice in my head. So that was pretty funny. But then they managed to fix it to where she could use it, but she couldn't access the internet or anything like that. And so they started to gather up people to come join them. They went to the lumber section, and Scarlet and Winter... Scarlet and Winter went to go get wolf soldiers, and Cinder and Jason went to go get the antidote because they saw that Winter. So in the lumber section, Winter thought she had seen Jason when they came up there with the wolf soldiers, and so she ran after him into the woods, and then she couldn't see him anywhere. And there's an old lady who was like, "Here, he just left, but he gave you these. He left these for you," and it was her favorite apple candies. And at that moment, since it was a Snow White retelling, I knew that was what was going to have something that was going to like poison her, and it had the disease in it that had been killing a bunch of earthens, but it was now the mutated version that could kill Lunars too. So she had gotten the disease, and they had put her into suspended animation tank so it would slow it down. And so Jason and Cinder brought the antidote into the lumber section and gave it to everyone, so everyone was there was safe. So they started the march into the city, and we marched into the city, and then they managed to get into the castle, and Lavanna had met them on the steps with her guards and everyone, and Wolf, who had been mutated into one of the more wolf-like people who were just like constantly hungry for flesh and everything. And then the battle started, and like right away there was the people had taken control of the people Cinder had brought with her to fight, and so they were killing themselves and people around them. And then Lavanna took control of her, and she hadn't been taken control of before because before she had her cybernetics have been able to stop it. And so she was being taken control of into it. It couldn't move at all. And Wolf had come charging towards her. But then they showed the video that she had recorded in the throne room of what Lavanna really looked like, and everyone was stunned, and even Lavanna. So she ran into the castle, and Cinder eventually managed to go in after her, and she chased her all the way to the throne room. After meeting up with Kai, who had been stuck in where they were having the coronation at, ran into the throne room with Lavanna, and then she saw her sitting on her throne, and Thorn was standing on the ledge right over the pool. And every time she took a step forward, he would take a step towards it. And then she stopped taking a step forward. It's like she stopped trying to take a step forward. And Wolf and Scarlet came into the room. And immediately, Lavanna took control of her. And then Cress came in there as well at one point. And so Wolf had been forced to jump. And so she launched at him and grabbed him. And then Thorn had been forced to jump. She grabbed him. And Wolf was just starting to kill her. Starting to kind of kill her. It's like, it's still not me, I swear. It's not me doing this. She's like, I know. And then, Thorn had stabbed Cress in the side, which was really, I was like, oh my gosh. Because Thorn and Cress's relationship was so cute, and I was like, oh my gosh. Cress, I was really glad that she did not end up dying, and then at the end, they had a cute little thing where she was going to travel the world with him. And so, in the throne room, she went over and Luann was like, okay, I surrender. So Cinder went over there and held out her hand, and she gave her the gun. Then she reached for a knife and stabbed her. And then I was like, oh my gosh, because she says that every nerve was in pain, and I was like, oh my gosh, Cinder. But then she had shot, and Lavanna had thankfully died. And then she woke up, and a person had fixed her cyborg part so she could use her internet thing again, and she could use her, and she was fine, because luckily I managed to stab one of her synthetic heart, from part of her synthetic heart, not part of her real heart. So, and then they were all ended up fine, thankfully. And she had signed a treaty which made them have a peace alliance with Earth and with all of Luna. So they have the Peaceful Alliance now. And Kai went into a throne room after a Cornish and everything. Kai went into a throne room and was saying how, talking to her and everything. And then he knelt down and he held out the cyborg foot to her. He's like, I thought if I could find the person that fit this foot, we'd be destined to be together. But then I realized it'd probably for someone that was 8. She's like, actually, it's 11. Because of two, and that was really cute. And then he's like, I know you didn't want to be queen, because she had just said that she wanted to make Luna a republic where people were elected to lead them, because she didn't want to be queen. She's like, I know you didn't want to be queen, but would you consider being empress one day? And then she was like, maybe, possibly. So they still have a chance of a relationship. Then Scarlet and Wolf, they're like, we're gonna go back to the farm. You might scare them. It might take a while for the neighborhood kids to not be afraid of you, but it'll be fine. Even though, he just got turned into a wolf soldier who has a craving for human flesh. So, but oh well. And then they were going to distribute the antidotes around Earth, and so the disease was going to be gotten rid of from the antidote. And then at the end it says, and they all lived happily ever after. I really liked this book, and I thought it was a really great finale to the series. So, even though it looks like, the book looks small, but it has 823 pages. So, which I feel is really weird, because the pages are kind of thin, so it looks really small. Anyways, this book was really good, and I really liked it, so you should tell me your opinions down below. And thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.